James Maddison was instrumental in all 3 goals yesterday, scoring one and assisting another, putting a great performance, even though they lost the game 6-3. Lads, for me, James Maddison, he had an up and down year. He had an injury, went off the boil a little bit, but he's come back strong. He's got 7 goals, 6 assists in all competitions this season. Cass, is he close to potentially being back in Southgate's plans?
Well, he's got 6 in the last 8, and I remember watching him against Chelsea when Chelsea won 3-0 at Leicester, and he was not particularly good. And came on, struggled, to get involved. He'd been a sub against Leeds in the previous game, and he played in the game against Arsenal before that, and he got subbed in that game. Then he come on, and then I think after the 3-0 defeat, because he came on as a sub, I think Brendan's gone, I'm going to play him now. And then he went on this run and has got some wonder goals, by the way. It's not just the goals he scored. There's been some few crackers in there. Yeah. But that 3-0 at Chelsea enabled him to get back into the team because he wasn't in the team that particular time. He was, like you said, a substitute. So.
Well, Darren, you look at the players in his position in the England squad. You've got Smith Rowe, Grealish, Foden, Mount. I mean, we're incredibly blessed in that area. Does Maddison deserve to be in that sort of category with them players?
I think if he continues the current form, potentially he does. But I think if you look at the way Gareth Southgate's run the team, trust is massive for him. And does he trust him enough? I don't think he will. I don't think he trusted Grealish for a long time. And even the public was calling out to get Grealish in the team, and he still wouldn't. And trust element is big for him. And, he's on some scintillating form at the moment. The touch for the goal, his goal, when he brought it out the air, was fantastic. The goal against Liverpool, even the strike that he pushed onto the bar and then Iheanacho scored. I just don't think he gets ahead of them quite yet. I don't think he's done enough. He's on good form, but there's not enough at the moment. If he continues this and stays on this form, has a fantastic run, Leicester start pushing up the league. The World Cup's still over a year to go away, just under a year. Yeah. So I think he could make a final push. Is he in there yet? I don't think so.
I don't know if England want to play with like a 10 because they got, obviously, Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice, they're 2 holders, that their forward line is pretty much obvious. It could be Saka, it could be Grealish, it could be Sterling, the wide men, and Harry plays down the middle. So they don't look like really he wants to, Gareth, get a number 10 type of player in his team. No. And I think that's his biggest obstacle for Maddison.
I mean, there's a time when he was being linked to Arsenal for 60-70 million pound. Do you think a club potentially would maybe make a bid for him in January? Is there anyone out there you think maybe
but it's definitely not Arsenal now, is it? Because they've signed Odegaard.
Yeah.
And he's doing exactly what Arteta wants. I think it's a difficult one for Maddison because one thing you have to do at a big club, and I found that out because I played for a couple of them, is that you have to be
Gillingham.
Really consistent. Yeah. By the way, we both played for Gillingham.
Yeah, well, you played. I just sat on the bench.
I think consistency is the hallmark of great players at big clubs.
I'll tell you what, I'd have him at Tottenham.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd have him at Tottenham. We talk about that midfielder who can score 5 or 6, 7 goals a season.
Playing where, though?
I would play him... you know what?
Because he plays 3-4-3 at the minute, Antonio Conte.
I think a manager like Conte could make him like one of them 2 in the middle. I really do. If he plays with Højbjerg or whoever it may be, Skip, I think he could. Him out of anyone, that manager could make
Skip
him
Maddison,
number 2.
Mid.
Listen, they'll need another centre midfielder to go along with him. But I think the players you've mentioned, Foden, Conor Gallagher, I think he's ahead of him at the moment. I really do. But he's on good form, just not enough yet.
It's a really hard position to play, the number 10 role. That creator come assist man that's got to chip in with goals as well.
Talking about Cass, the easiest role in the world.
No, it used to be. I tell you why, because it's a feast or famine position for me. It's like Fernandes at Man United. When he's on and he's playing really well, it makes the team look really, really good.
Yeah.
And when they start to struggle, he starts to struggle because they can't get him on the ball. So that's what I mean.
The
it's
expectation for a number 10 is extremely high.
You've got to be creative in that position all the time. And unless you're going sideways and backwards like Jamie O'Hara, you're probably...
Never. Always forward. I'll tell you another player who's been in great form, by the way, at Manchester City and coming for a bit of stick at the start of the season with Man City was Sterling. And all of a sudden, again, he's proved the doubters wrong. He's in great form. He does it every time.
I think he's fantastic. I think he was up there with Pickford as player of the tournament for England in the Euros.
Yeah.
I think for some reason, players have dip in form. And you normally see it, Kaz. I never played in a major tournament, but you normally see it coming off the back of a major tournament that these players, they dip in form a little bit, but they always come back stronger. There's question marks. He made the question marks himself, saying, I'm going to learn another language, and does he want to leave? But he's a fantastic football player, and he's underrated for me by a lot of people.
Well, it's interesting because I interviewed Hudson-Odoi. Matty Cash.
Easy
last
mistake
week.
to make.
I interviewed Matty Cash last week, and I spoke to him and asked him about left wingers and Mane and how dangerous. And he actually said the hardest to play against was Sterling. Hardest. He said that he's the hardest to
always
play.
on the move.
He might have changed to Hudson-Odoi after yesterday, but he talked about Sterling in glowing terms and said unbelievably strong, so quick. Yeah. And I think one thing that Sterling does brilliantly well, he always wants to run behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does. And
he always
that
gets
makes it
back
difficult.
in the team as well. When he's out the team, they sign Grealish, they sign big players. He always gets
doesn't
back in.
moan, does he?
Doesn't moan.
Keeps his
he
head
misses
down.
chances, but what's he got? 103, 104 Premier League goals now?
Yeah.
One of the sixth youngest, I think, to do that achievement. Brilliant player.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.